I'm Phil.
And we are Suddenly Ducks.
We're playing a little more D&D, which is the Age of Heroes game, which is run by our GM, Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Phil.
And we also have Harriel here, Wing, and Chris.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
And I think we're going to be continuing from where we last were. Over to you, Aaron.
Yes, so on the last session, our players started off in Storm's End, where they met a Lord of Minor Repute who had hired them, along with his friend, an apparent bastard from the Westerlands, who was very well dressed for a bastard. They had hired them to make a delivery of their goods, traveling from Storm's End to Bronzegate and then on to Fellwood. Our party made their way to Bronzegate with a little bit of trouble, ran into, I think, a bear, a fairy dragon that they made a bit of a deal with, and then some owls that they managed to capture a pet baby owl that they now have. They made their way to Bronzegate and made the initial delivery. They collected their gold, and then I believe they were on their way to have a drink, which is where we start our session today.
Yes.
So you guys have, and by the way, this map is designed to be like almost all the way zoomed out. So you guys made your way to Bronzegate. You made the delivery, and you've headed over to the Bronze Tankard. One of the things that you've noticed about Bronzegate is you've not seen a single real guard. Nobody with the house crests of Durandon is walking around. The only people you see are these guys that are wearing like dark crimson armor, like leather armor, short swords at their sides. And you just presume, since they're all wearing sort of like the same thing, that maybe is like some sort of like local town militia uniform. And as you're walking into the Bronze Tankard, in fact, you pass two guys wearing this armor who sort of like eye you as they walk by.
Hello.
Yeah, they don't say anything to you, and they just sort of walk by. They smile, though. They give you a nod. And the tavern itself is roaring with activity as you enter. The smell of stale alcohol permeates the air, and the sound of a bard fills the tavern with music. The Bronze Tankard is fairly large for such a small town. Perhaps the travelers headed for Storm's End are enough to keep it full of patrons. There's a massive hearth behind the bar that also seems to be acting as a kitchen. A man is busy chopping meats and tending to the meals cooking over the coals. A barmaid greets you, saying, "Welcome to the Bronze Tankard. Have a seat wherever you'd like." You scan the room for a place to sit, and everybody roll me perception. The bar itself is mostly full, with two stools still untaken. There are a dozen tables that form two rows. The first row of tables is filled with patrons, and the back row is empty. On your left, you see the first table sits a single man in the same red leather that you've recognized from around town. He's finishing off his beer, and there are two unfinished meals across the table from him. The next table is filled with four people appearing to be of some stature. A woman in exquisite green and yellow silks sits with three men adorned in fine blue silk clothing. Tynan can tell that they're all wearing chain shirts underneath their fine exterior layers. The next four tables appear to be filled with the same sorts of folk that you've seen throughout the city, simple wools and linens. Most of the men are armed with some sort of simple weapon, like a club or the occasional spear. The music that you hear as you enter is a famous song from the region that you've heard sung in many taverns before. The Bear and the Maiden Fair, and there is a bard singing it as you enter.
Wow, there are two seats free. So do you want to go there? Famous?
Sure. Might as well ask about rooms for us while we stay in Bronze Gate for the moment. I have business to do in the morning.
Aha, so do I. Is it something I can help with?
Perhaps. Drinks first, then business.
Of course.
What can I get you, friend? The woman turns to you.
I helped Tinnen on his stool first.
God damn it. Yes.
So you're over here.
2 ales, please.
2 ales. She looks you over. What are you guys wearing?
Studded leather.
Leather.
That'd be 2 silver.
Yes. Each or like total?
Total.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I hand her, well, at least my my share of the silver. I presume Phoebus know how to count.
Yep. Yes, I do. I'm a bounty hunter, motherfucker.
Yeah, she quickly slides the silver beneath the table, and as the Bear and the Maiden Fair ends, you see the bar turns to her and says, "All right, I sung it for you. Now you owe me one." And she turns back to him and says, "Fine, fine. You know what to play." And then she starts singing.
Well, this is lovely. Oh yeah, and Phoebus, since I'm in kind of a good mood, look carefully while we're here. These people, I presume these are the fancy people with robes on the map. They seem fancy, but they are well armored. I can assure you.
Well, I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, but in this place, that is weird. I feel like. Although that could be my lovely pirate heart come out and just want to stab and steal.
Well, there's nothing lovely about your pirate heart. But if they wish to be so well armed, leave them be.
The barmaid turns to you, Barrick, and you, Manon, and says, "Can I get you boys anything?"
Ale.
And I'll take a water.
He means
water.
ale.
And by water, I mean mead.
Yes, mead. Sorry, I have to get used to your land tongue.
I'll be a silver apiece.
So, Aaron, I only have gold.
I will pay for your drink. As long as you let me tell you of...
But by all means.
Excellent. I hand over the 2 silver pieces.
Cool.
Yeah, she takes them from you with a smile as she gives you 2 drinks and quickly puts them underneath the bar.
Thank you, my dear.
Alright, do we go and sit somewhere?
Let us sit. Where is the half? There is no half. This disappoints me.
It's in the corner.
We'll sit over here.
Cecilia just stands around clapping and nodding to the music with a smile on her face.
Yeah, after a little while, the barmaid eventually comes over and asks you, "Can I get you anything, love?"
I'm alright for the moment, thank you.
Let me know if it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Goes back to her bartending duties.
Yeah, I flag her down, so she comes over.
What do you need?
And yes, do you have lodgings? An inn,
We do.
perhaps. How much for the night?
It's 2 gold per room.
Tin, would you mind sharing?
Wow. No, not really.
4 rooms then, please.
8 gold.
And I slide over the 8 gold.
So
Yep.
how
She
bored am I?
quickly stows it beneath the bar.
Sorry.
Oh, what was that, Barrick?
How bored am I just listening to this Ironborn shit?
Yeah, I'm telling him all about the sea.
Roll for boredom.
Yeah, it's the roll.
Roll for persuasion.
Roll will
charisma.
Yeah, Manon, make like a persuasion check as you attempt to convert this heathen to
I'm not
the
very
rightful one true religion. Now, that's a pretty compelling argument to drown yourself.
Is it an opposed check? Does he have to roll skepticism or something?
good.
Insight.
Survival.
Roll
Survival.
for not drowning.
Well, I just stick my head in
Here.
my cup.
Here, drink your mead deeply.
Usually roll insight to call bullshit, so...
Are you
Should I-
gonna
should I
like
do
wad
that?
up a wet rag in his mouth and pour mead over his face?
Yeah, Phil makes some good arguments for drowning yourself, but you're able to point out the holes in his story.
His story doesn't hold water.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna slit my
Oh.
wrists now.
Maybe later we can talk further.
I'd rather not talk about the drowned god anymore.
Around this time, the guy in red armor gets up and leaves.
And there's still 2 plates of unfinished food at his table.
No, the tables across and the beers across from him were both finished.
They were? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Rats.
Were we coming here to originally meet someone, or were we just
No, we
delivering
came
it
here
over
to
here?
deliver the goods. And I think it's close to nighttime.
It's the evening, yeah.
Yeah, so I suggested last session that we rest up and then train. You know, level up the
If
people
we
that
can
can level up.
find, yeah.
You know, find people to train us, and then we move on to finish the delivery.
Can I, like, I want to try and have a conversation with the lady, the bartender lady, but I want to use Thieves Scan in between. So I wanted to see if any of these people would be helpful to my cause.
Okay, what do you say in Thieves' Cant?
Greeting. I have gold to spend. On.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what do you say to the woman?
Hey, lovely lady. How how have this day been for you?
She looks down at you and says, busy.
Yeah. Do you have fun while being busy, or is it horrible busy where you want to just die and drink everything away?
Wow.
So she looks back at the bar and says, "Well, he keeps us fairly entertained." And the bard nods.
Well, that is great. Great. And then I continue to drink.
Around this time, two more of those guys in red leather armor walk into the bar. And when they come in, they look over at you two and they go, "Ah, there they are. New adventurers in town. How are you, my friends?"
Well, yes, we are, and we are quite fine, as you can see. We are lovely company, and this whole place is lovely, pretty.
I have
Let
my
me,
hand on my rapier, by the way.
Let me buy you around.
I'm quite alright, thank you.
Oh,
no.
nonsense. And he looks to the barmaid and says, "Another round for my friends here." And flicks her a handful of silver.
I wouldn't decline that, but you should give it to the pretty girl over here who hasn't had even one cup of ale, and she has been here for a while.
Remind us what Cecilia is wearing.
Just robes and as plain and, not fancy as possible. They've got tears and holes and patches and...
Yeah, so both of them sort of shoot a gaze over to Cecilia and then turn back to you, and they're like, "Yeah, she looks like she's having a grand old time. Drink with us." And these guys grab the ales that the barmaid gave and just start, pounding them. "Another round!"
Okay, I want to know what their angle is. Can I insight check them, see what the fuck they're on about?
See the cheerfulness is real or not? Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Oh, these guys are definitely up to something. There's for sure an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I don't touch my drink at all.
I still
And I
holding
just
the
say,
one that I
"What do you
already
want?"
had.
I just ask them, "What is it that you want? We are busy people."
We just heard that there were some new adventures in town. We're a hospitable town. We figured we'd buy you a drink, get to know you. You see, we're a part of a group called the Bloodsworn. We're sort of like the guards in this town. We like to get to know new faces, especially when they're wearing such fine armor and weapons. Come on, have a drink with us.
Well,
and he sort of slides the drink that he bought you a little bit closer to where you're sitting.
yeah, I slide it away from me and say, "No, thank you. I had my fill. If you wish to do business and you have bounties up, I might be interested."
Yeah, we get bounties occasionally. I could definitely pull some that look like they would suit you. And he sort of slaps you on the back, gives you a wide grin.
How about we move to another better location like this place so that you can talk and you can persuade us to whatever you want, really.
Absolutely. And this guy
Let's
behind
go
you,
to that
Tinin,
table.
helps you off of your stool, being
Thank
all
you.
polite.
Cradles you in his arms.
Yeah. Wow. God damn it. I'm following the lady. I'm sorry, man. I share a room with her anyway, so I have to really.
You sit on his knee.
Oh God.
Just going around.
So,
look at the cooking.
what's your angle?
No, I'm Sorry, my bad.
As I said, we just like to get to know new adventurers when they come through town.
That sounds lovely. I don't think I really trust that, though. I'm sorry.
All right, well, you believe what you want, friend. Where are you coming from?
I
Are they
don't
both
answer.
humans?
Yep, they're both human.
Where did we
All right.
come from?
I don't answer.
No, but where did we come from? I'll answer that.
Storm's End.
I see. I see. Storm's End. Why?
I'm just curious. Like I said, we act as the town guard in this here in Bronze Gate. We just like to get to know new folks. Helps keep the town safe.
Oh, I can assure you, we're not here to do anything that would disturb the town, presumably. We're just doing our job and then staying here for a couple of nights and then continue on to somewhere else. I'm sure we will not cause any trouble.
Very well, and at this point they've both finished the drinks that they brought over there. They say, well, we've got, guard duties to attend to, but you enjoy your time here in Bronze Gate. And they both get up and leave.
I check my purses.
Yeah, so they're like...
They have their backs to me.
As they're leaving, you check your purse and they're gone.
Yep. Guess that. God.
Wait, what's gone?
You have no coins on you.
Wow.
Thank God they didn't sit next to us. Do I see these guys checking their purses?
I mean, if we didn't notice, I don't know if you would.
No, as in the children. Do we see you being like, oh fuck, we just got robbed?
Yeah, you see Phoebus with the what the fuck face.
Oh, I'm seething. I have a murder face on.
So what did they do?
Check your purse.
Well, if you... Okay, yes, I checked mine.
Yeah, Tinin, you don't have any coin either.
Do I have? Check mine.
Yep, you have your coins. Only
Good.
Tinin and Phoebus were ripped off.
Yep. Great.
Well, I know what we're doing tonight.
Well,
I think that pig's had enough.
well, Phoebus. So, what do you want us to do? Because right now, I'm thinking tracking them down. Not really murder them, but
killing them.
I mean, they sounds like they are working as the town guard. God damn it, woman. Well, guys, I think we have a job, or well, something to do tonight.
Good for you.
I'll
See you
go
later.
with the monk.
Please.
My hammer has crushing to do. The bear's
Oh.
teeth were not filling
Alright.
enough.
You're buying beer later, though, Tim.
I will buy you beer.
There
Monk,
are
we must
two.
leave.
Just take the two extra that we
happened?
didn't get. They stole our goals.
The
That's
stupid
it.
children got robbed. The oldest chick in the
Stupid.
book.
I'm
You're
hurt.
miles away. You can't hear. I'm talking to the monk.
Oh.
Yeah, you're on the other side of the
Yeah,
bar,
yeah,
and it's a
true.
noisy bar. You can't hear anything that they're saying.
Okay, and Cecilia tosses a silver piece to the bard and smiles and bows to him as she leaves.
Yeah, he keeps
Radio.
playing, but he bows gracefully while doing so.
Before I leave, I try and say to the bar person, "Those people in red, are they really the town guard?"
I guess you could call them that. I mean, when the town gets attacked, they do defend it, but they're not much of guards.
Would you feel better off if they weren't here?
When you say that, she sort of nervously looks around and says, I'm very thankful for the protection they provide the town.
Excellent. Your will be done as I leave.
I carve in Druidic into the tree. Beware of the red-coated pickpockets.
Okay.
Yeah. I turn to the group. Well, at least we have a bed for the night.
Cecilia says, "Oh, did you buy us rooms? How much do I owe you?"
Yes. Well,
Yes.
if we manage to get my gold back, nothing.
You need something in the meantime.
I'll be
Excellent.
fine
Let
for
us
now.
search
Just,
for
just
these.
tell me. Okay. As you wish.
Do we start with investigation roll? Or how do you want us to
I
find
want those
them?
motherfuckers.
Let's.
I want them.
Well, it depends on how you're going about searching for them. Are you like trying to follow their tracks, or are you trying to like ask around?
Well, it's probably nighttime, so maybe tracks to start off with. Unless we're going to knock on some doors.
Yeah, so to find tracks, you'd want to roll a survival check.
Survival.
Can we all do it?
Yeah, well, you'd probably be best off with your best two people assisting each other. Then the best person could roll with advantage.
I have
I had
6.
Which one do
Who
you
has
both
a
have
train?
train? Yeah.
I do.
I think if you assist someone else, they get advantage. That's it.
Right.
To assist, you
Right.
have to be trained in the skill.
This is true.
Ignore my roll then.
So is more than one person
So-
trained? Anyone trained
No.
besides Chris? No? So Chris, just roll.
No. Fuck.
So, both Manon and Chris, you guys both discovered the same thing as you're going for tracks outside of the Bronze Tankard, which is this building right here. You find tons of tracks. Tracks going every direction, belonging to people of every size and shape, beasts of burden, carts. There's a lot of tracks through this city, and after, the rains from the days before, the whole city is sort of just a muddy slop, so you can't really tell, one track from the other. Like they just go all directions.
Well, that was a stupid idea.
Okay, let's check the nearest house and ask where the red-coated twats are.
Yeah, we might as well. Let's try that. Maybe that would work. So I roll because I have investigation train. Anyone else?
No.
Yes, you start looking around and you see this building right here, like stores hay. It's just like a covered thing, and there's a couple of guys there that are basically like organizing hay bales, like lifting hay bales up and stacking them. To the other side, this looks like some sort of like a farmhouse. Maybe they have like some small animals in the back, like sheep for making wool. Perhaps they sell wool there.
I go to the hay and then ask them.
So yeah, you see two guys that are stacking hay, sort of large farmer types. One of them looks up as you approach. Can I help you, sir?
Looks
Yeah. Yes. We've been robbed of our gold, and
We're looking for 2 of your city guards.
that.
We talk about the blood spoon.
Yes.
That's the one.
Well, they're all over the city.
I described the two of them.
Can't say I know exactly who you're talking about, and I haven't seen them
Inside.
through here. We've been stacking hay. Sorry
Where's
to
the
hear
nearest
that.
brothel, man?
Just outside of town.
I imagine that's where they'll be going. 2 fresh coin purses full of gold.
Well, we might as well go there then.
To the brothel.
Yeah.
So you get directions to the nearest brothel, which, as I said, is just sort of like on the outskirts of town. There's basically a farmhouse that isn't really used for any farming activities. But it's got like a nice downstairs that has like a bard playing soft music, and then the upstairs loft has been converted into numerous different rooms. As you enter, you're meted by an older woman who's apparently acting as the madam. How can I help you?
Looking for 2 Bloodsworns? Is that the name? Bloodsworn?
Yep, that's the name.
Yeah. Looking for 2 Bloodsworns. They might have come here recently. and I give her a brief description of the 2.
I slide over a gold piece.
Now you're speaking my language. Discretion is one of our services, but can't say Bloodsworn fitting that description have come through today, though we do see them occasionally. There's one here now, upstairs with one of the girls.
Okay. Phoebus, you want to talk to that guy then?
I asked the madam, would you know where they usually gather?
Other than here, of course.
Well, they tend to sort of patrol the city. When they have time off, it's not uncommon to see them in the Bronze Tankard. Some of them stay at that central building here in town.
Thank you.
The one with the big
paid
stone
woman.
tower.
I've already paid for a gold piece. Thank you.
That wasn't the Iron Prize, Manon. Growing soft.
Well, this is the children. I'm sure they will pay me recompense when we get their purses back.
I already paid for your room, human.
Let's deal with that later. Just find our goal. That is the more important thing to do right now.
And yeah, go to the central building.
So yeah, you go in there and you basically find in the main building area, there's like a number of different rooms, and then there's like a central hall that seems to actually be set up with a bunch of different like shrines of worship to the many different gods that are worshipped here in Westeros. On the tower side is like a pretty strong door. It's like wood and bronze that's closed currently.
Is there anyone inside this?
Yeah, so
chamber?
you look around and you actually see one of the men that was in the bronze tankard there. One of the guys who was in blue silk clothing is in there, and he's basically like walking around attending to the different shrines, making sure everything's in place. He looks up when he sees you and smiles warmly, and then goes back to what he's doing.
I approach him.
How may I help you?
Good evening. I'm looking for 2 Bloodsworns, and I give the man their description.
Ah, the ones from the bar earlier.
Yes. Is it common that they do petty crimes against people visiting your city?
That is what they do. He sort of shakes his head as he says it.
Have you seen them?
Ah, they haven't come through here. We should talk somewhere else.
Very well.
And he sort of brings you through that main area, like sort of throwing sideways glances at some of the different rooms that you pass, and then you eventually get to like the main tower, and he opens that up, and sitting in there is the woman who is in the green and yellow silks.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks up, sort of puzzled at the two of you, and he says to her, he's been having some trouble with the Bloodsworn. And
She
did I not say she?
said he.
Nope.
Oh. She's been having some trouble with the Bloodsworn. He had
Good evening,
some
ma'am.
questions. I thought it best to speak in private, and he closes the door behind you too. She looks up and says, "Good evening. What sorts of troubles?"
Well, it appears that the guard of your city take pleasure in robbing people that are merely passing through. I don't take kindly to being robbed. I don't take kindly to criminals.
What did they take from you?
My purse.
And mine.
You're not with him, are you?
I thought everyone went.
Yeah.
Oh, you there as a party? Okay.
Well, I would hope that Cecilia could hang back as much as possible. But yeah, we haven't really discussed who's where.
Yeah, you can all be there. That's fine. She says, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not very fond of them, but there's not much I can do about the situation."
It's all right. We can deal with it ourselves, but it would be helpful if you can give us a direction.
Yes. Maybe where they live. And I have this very, very serious murdering tone in where they live.
Well, we are unfortunately required to garrison many of them here in this building. However, if you were just robbed, the men who took how much did they take from you?
26 copper pieces, 18 silver, and 17 gold.
And then on top of that, a lot more.
That's
how
just
much
from me.
How much from you?
God damn it. 4 copper, 13 silver, and 35 gold piece.
Ooh. They will not be in town if they took over 50 gold pieces from you. I'm sorry to say they will have likely have fled either to Fellwood or perhaps Haystack Hall. They'll be lying low for a few days, I would imagine.
Fellwood, that's good, but they wouldn't have gone now.
Do they have like horses that they can just take immediately? Or do they have to like, plan out a bit?
Yes, the Bloodsworn does keep a number of horses at the local stable. They would have access to those.
Wow.
Well, fuck.
Well, I mean, we have 2 options. We can talk to the bartender and check if we can use the service later on and then continue our way to Fairwood. Or we can stay here for a night and then go there. It's better that we do it in a way that we presumably survive.
By the way, you, Manon, you've noticed now that this woman who you've been introduced to, who's, by the way, her name is Lady Alan, she is most definitely a cleric. The gentleman that was helping you, that initially spoke with you guys is when you walked into the building, Cecilia, you recognize he's most definitely a monk.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoebus, you've also are pretty certain that another one of the gentlemen in blue silks who's sort of been like attending to duties here in the tower is a fighter.
Yeah. Okay.
And Tinin, you have deduced that all of the people in red leather that you've encountered here are rogues.
Yeah.
You got outrogued.
It's one of the sheep.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I can screenshot it if you want. The guy rolled a natural 20 to sleight of hand you, Tinin. Like, you rolled really well on your perception check, but he rolled a nat 20.
Got him.
Punked.
So how do we go about leveling up with these
I-
people then?
You need to pay, and someone will train you.
And it probably takes time, and I don't know if we're probably in a hurry to catch up with the thieves.
I think, yeah.
I mean, unless you want to pay for my training, I'm fine staying and training.
Same here.
Otherwise, I want to go.
How many days would it take to train?
Depend on the trainers and I guess the profession you want to train in.
To get to level 2 will just take you a couple of days.
Probably gonna do it on our way back through then.
Are we on any time constraints of like
Nope.
getting there? No, we're not.
Hmm.
Well, we basically lose out on like 60 gold because that's how much you were given, like 30 each.
Total. Yeah.
Again, unless you humans want to pay for our things, which I believe 2 of you wouldn't, I would suggest we move on and hunt down 2 other humans.
Cecilia nods in favor of pursuing the thieves.
Besides, they are doing bad things. Some of you might want to punish them.
Would they be... Do they have families, those 2? I asked Lady... whatever her name is.
Was it?
Lady Alan, I'm
I
not
just-
certain of the familial situations of all of the Bloodsworn, unfortunately.
How many are there in town in total, minus the 2 that we think have gone?
They generally keep around 20 men in town.
Maybe
how
not
come you
something
are
we able to deal with at
And
this
how-
time?
Come you are required to garrison them.
They've worked out some sort of deal with with the family that has rights to these lands, the Durandons. I'm associated with a house that is bannerman to House Durandon. I stay here and keep this building running. I try to be protective over the townspeople, but ultimately, this is a Durandon town. These are Durandon lands. And what the Durandons say is law. She sort of, like, internally, you can tell she's sort of struggling, to rationalize
Yeah.
it, but that is the truth.
Cecilia walks over to Tinin and kneels down and just sort of whispers into his ear, maybe there's some kind of a thieves guild or something. Maybe you want to be on their good side.
I presume they are in that thieves guild. If you mean be on the good side, we can talk to the Red Sworn.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
thinking...
Blood Sworn, not Red Sworn. Oh,
I mean, maybe if you admired the skill with which they liberated you from your gold, and you were willing to, learn some things from them, maybe they'd teach you and give you some gold back.
I don't think that's how thieving work, woman. Although, is all the I don't. I'm thinking we also have an option to talk to the other plus one. They surely have a place that they someone that's taking care of everything and all that. He might not be that happy for those two to be running to Fellwood and hide, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Lady, where is
no.
their leader in this town? Who do they like kneel to?
They don't really have a leader in this town. There is one that seems to give orders to the other, though I do not know his name. I've seen him. He wears studded leather, whereas the rest of them just wear normal leathers, and he always has his cloak pulled down tight, the hood over his face. To be honest, I've never seen his face because of that, and he has a wolf pelt on his cloak. It's the easiest way to identify him.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't think we need to talk to him.
If you're looking
would be
to
happy.
replace your gold, I may know somewhere that you could do that, although I can't say for sure.
Do tell.
Barrick over at the Bronze Shield. It's a blacksmith and a shop here in town. He's been looking for someone to track down some bandits that have raided a shipment of goods to him. I believe the reward he was offering was in the neighborhood of what you'd lost. You'd have to speak with him about it.
Got a nice name.
I will. We'll talk to him.
We might as well.
We do have other businesses to attend to in Fellwood. We'll see. Thank you for your help, lady.
I would consider it a favor, and if there was something I could do for you, you'd mentioned training before. Might be able to
Yes.
help you with that in exchange.
Well,
I like
now we
blacksmith
might have a
three.
deal. We'll talk to your blacksmith.
Have you seen any of my kind around here?
Your kind?
The crazy
Scum
ones?
humans.
Druids.
Oh.
So she thinks for a moment and she says, I know a farmer's wife who dabbles in the druidic arts.
You think she'd be up to do some training?
If you're able to help Barrick, I would be willing to speak with her.
Well, anyone named Barrick has got to be worth helping.
She's
Are you
sort of-
talking to yourself
Except for
now?
you.
Yes. Because I would refuse.
It is a fine name indeed.
What time is it?
It's getting
By
late
now.
now, probably like 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, let's see if the blacksmith is still in business, and if not, sleep.
Yeah, so Lady Elaine bids you well, apologizes for getting robbed upon immediately coming to her city. She seems embarrassed by it more than anything. And as you guys leave, you start looking around, but you don't hear the sound of any, hammer on anvil. You do eventually locate the shop, and it does indeed appear closed.
Well, let's not disturb the man's sleep. Let's catch our own.
Yep, so you make your way back to the bronze tankard, and you find it once again still roaring with activity, Bard playing music, and you go up to your rooms, I presume.
Yep.
I spend a bit of time talking to the owl using talk to animals as a ritual.
Yeah, its vocabulary is very small. It mainly just says things like food and sleep.
Yeah, I'm just
warm and
kind of
cold.
teaching it, and making it, like me.
Yeah, make an animal handling check.
I'm gonna break
Vomit
his
some
neck.
food in its mouth, you want it.
With advantage, since you can speak to it.
Oh, well, never mind.
In case you roll a 20.
Ooh,
Nice.
Called it.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can teach it one trick.
Wow.
Collect
Alright.
coin purse.
Pickpocket owl.
they'd
No,
actually be great at it because you don't hear them flying.
I don't know. I just teach it to come to me while when it hears my horn. It comes to me.
Oh no. Not the horn.
Please, no.
What do you think?
And so throughout the night, like the early night, you guys hear some like strange horn sounds coming from his room and vigorous hooing. And eventually he sounds very pleased with himself and then goes to bed.
Should have made it bring your sword to you.
I don't
It
have a
can't
sword.
carry it.
It's
Like
a
dagger.
baby.
Dagger baby.
Does anybody do anything else before morning?
Do a 4-hour watch and then meditate for 4 hours.
I would like to carve.
Do you guys set up a watch then?
I do one.
I mean,
Just because.
yeah.
So when your watch is over,
I
do you alert another person and do they take watch?
I will take watch.
We have separate rooms. The only people that are in a room together is me and Tinnen.
Yeah.
And I just watch because I only need to sleep for 4 hours. That's why I do a watch.
Roll perception for your watch.
Just in case,
Yeah, so basically you hear the music and everything dies down around midnight. People seem to go to sleep. At some point you do hear there's somebody like in the bar downstairs doing something, and then that's really it. Nobody comes upstairs and does anything throughout the night.
Yeah, I just jam the door with a chair and just meditate.
It has one of those things on the inside where you can bar the door, like a big board. Like there's 2 hooks.
Yeah, just bar the door and sit down in the corner and meditate.
All right, yeah, so morning comes. Once again, the bar beneath you guys, the tavern below, is roaring with activity. You can smell like breakfast sausages and eggs being cooked. The smell of stale alcohol never goes away in this place.
Cecilia's gonna order some breakfast. She wants a fried egg and bacon.
I
if
come
it's
out.
available.
I come out in my traveler's clothing.
Yeah, that's 1 silver for a breakfast, Cecilia.
Sure thing.
I'll just have French toast.
So they have sausages and they have eggs, and then they have like a medley of, like vegetables with it rolled up.
Do they have any porridge?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have the vegetarian delight.
I'll buy some for me and Dal as well.
So anybody that eats breakfast here, it's just 1 silver for the meal.
Throughout the day, I'll just eat my ration.
I'm fasting, so no food.
Oh,
Fasting.
Ramadan.
Did you eat all night though?
No.
I know what he ate all night.
Oh shit.
Alright, Phoebus is a girl. We should do this.
How long have you been fasting for, Tinin?
Just today.
Okay, if you keep going without food, you're gonna add levels of exhaustion.
No. I keep a record of how many days I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can go a certain number of days without food before you start getting negatives.
If you repeatedly do that, though, you're gonna start taking negatives earlier and earlier as you become malnourished over time. You can't, like, game the system mechanically, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Which makes
my plan is just every 3 days, or when something happens, I eat if I can. For example, now I don't have any gold or silver, so
Yeah, occasionally that'll be okay. If you do that over and over again, within a few weeks, you'll start having levels of exhaustion
okay.
from not eating.
Remember that.
Is
So you guys
Tinin
eat
downstairs
breakfast?
with us? Is Tinin downstairs with us?
I mean,
And,
yeah,
like sitting with us and just not eating?
Yes, I'm not eating.
Like Cecilia just, offers you a slice of bacon? You sure?
Don't tempt me, lady.
Okay.
No,
alright.
you should chew it first.
Should I chew it and spit it into your mouth?
Yeah, like this, and I do it like with Dal.
Sorry, I've never met a very small person, so I'm not sure.
No,
Whether
it's
you're eating
fine.
rabbits.
It's just
What is the nature of your fast? Is it for religious reasons or?
it's because I'm
I
broke.
grin.
Okay.
I grin and lean into Cecilia and say, halflings don't really eat anything. When he does, it's just to keep up appearances.
Oh,
Yes, he's
interesting.
fed by the sun.
Oh,
Don't tell
like
all our
like a
secrets.
plant. Oh.
Yes.
That is not something you should tell them.
Does sugar run through your blood as well?
Sure.
Oh.
At this point, the barmaid comes over and asks if
Tricking
you
the humans.
like any ales to wash down that sausage.
Yes.
Mead. One for Barrett
Just-
as well.
As she starts counting up, how many drinks?
Do you have apple cider, non-alcoholic, apple juice, basically?
With water.
Water's fine, thank you.
So it's a silver for everybody that wants to drink, except the water is like 1 copper.
Sure.
You can't get sick. Well, I'll pay for Barrett.
Are you paying for me? Or
Yes, I told you I'd buy you a second drink.
thanks.
While they're waiting for the drink, Cecilia unrolls a scroll and, dips a quill in some ink and starts taking notes on halflings.
Yes.
Do you make
Spreading
like a little
lies.
picture?
She's not a good
Spreading
artist. But she does make a little kind of stick figure sketch about like the size of a halfling compared to like the size of an adult man human. Just like stick figure, just for a rough comparison. But that's all she draws, and then she just takes notes that they only eat to keep up appearances, and they just drink up the sun instead, and potentially have sugar in their blood.
How tiny is the penis on the halfling sick leave?
She draws a fig leaf. It's a small fig leaf, but nevertheless.
Perfect.
To the blacksmith then.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's get
once
this over
everyone
with.
has eaten.
Yep, so you finish your meals, finish your ales, meads, and waters, and then start making your way over to the forge. Gentleman wearing like black leathers, has a hammer, using tongs to like pull bronze in and out of the forge flame or whatever, and smack it with the hammer on the anvil. He looks up at you in between swings. How can I help you?
Good morning, sir. We've heard from Lady
Alon.
Alan that you've had troubles with bandits. They've stole your shipment.
Indeed, I had a rather large shipment coming in from Storm's End, and it never got here, if you know what I mean. Some bandits made off with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recover it, I'd pay you a hefty reward.
Well, that's what we are here for, sir. Any information that you could give us would be very helpful.
Well, from what I know, they've been hitting large shipments on the way from Storm's End, somewhere near the foothills of the mountains. That's all I know. They generally kill those that they raid. Not a lot of information comes back.
Well, that seems enough if there's no survivors from their attacks. Would you happen to know if they are human or something else?
There's been whispers of unnatural creatures being responsible, but I don't take up for that talk.
I lean over to Phoebus and say, this is the opposite direction. We just came from Storm's End. This would mean we have to look after the carriage with our goods.
Cecilia leans to Manon and says, I can't help but remember 3 dead horses we encountered on the way here. We might be just behind them. If they were coming from Storm's End, so were we. We might just be behind them.
Weren't those dead horses the kobolds?
Gnolls.
Whichever.
Gnolls.
Are you sure they killed them? Or that maybe they just set up a...
Their arrows looked the same.
Mm.
Well, if you can find the goods, I'll pay you 50 gold pieces for their recovery.
We will look into it.
I thank you kindly. And if there's anything you need, I can make just about any weapon you'd want.
Pleasing.
You do not work with steel, do you?
I don't have any. I mean, I've seen it worked before, but I'm not a steelsmith.
Very well. Would you happen to know one?
Not in this town.
Maybe in another town? No?
The Rondons, they've got a smith that can work steel. He's in Storm's End now, and he works in the castle.
Bit inaccessible. It's all right.
Most steel is imported to Westeros from Essos. That's why they fetch such a high price. Even if you've got a steelsmith, you need the right materials.
That's all right. Thank you, sir.
Good day to you.
Good day.
Bidet.
I guess.
So, do we all want to go look for this bandit group?
I mean,
Unless you want to tangle with the guard forces of the city that work for the lord of the region.
I feel like it's better for us to remember that and we'll later backstab them. But first, we have to get work and yes.
The way
I'll
Don't
I
worry,
just-
human. If I see them, I'll kill them.
The way I see it, Cecilia says, we have no lead on the bandits that have inconvenienced the blacksmith. However, the Bloodsworn might have gone to Fellwood, which is where we have to deliver our goods anyway. So we might be able to kill two birds with one stone there.
Yes. I would say we go to Fellwood, finish the job we have to finish, come back and deal with the blacksmith's problem.
We do have a cart. The bandits might attack us. Do our work for
True.
us.
True.
Though the
I like
cart
your
is
thinking.
very slim right now. It only has 3 barrels and a sack of something.
I think it's 2 barrels.
You never know. It might be enough.
I think it's 3.
So,
I think
where are
it's
you
3
guys
barrels.
heading?